Hi, Taurus. So last season we were talking about how you guys needed to have this conversation that you were putting off in terms of something ending in your life, whether it be a relationship, a job you need to quit, something like that. And so now we are finally, hopefully, you had that conversation last season and we can move on to our self-transformation during Scorpio season. What we really needed to focus on was kind of bucking up, preparing ourselves for what was to come, and just knowing that we would be okay with whatever the outcome would be. I think that for some of you, you didn't have the conversation, and so this season you're going to have to be working on yourself and also ending something that was extremely important to you. And for others, you ended something and that person didn't really want to leave. Or you're just going through it because you did what you had to do, but it still stings. The beginning of the season, I definitely see it being kind of hard with dealing with this transition. But good things come to those who wait. And you guys are definitely on the start to something new. And I don't see this as something relationship-wise. I see this as something more tangible. Bottom of the deck is the Ace of Cups. For some of you, it might be relationship-wise, but for a lot of you, it's going to be pretty material, setting us up for the Sag and Venus transit that will be happening later on in the month. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at these cards. So we have the Seven of Swords, the Nine of Wands, the Five of Wands, the Star, the Tower, the King of Swords, the Page of Pentacles, the Two of Wands, the Queen of Wands, the King of Pentacles, the Four of Coins, and the Queen of Cups. So for some of you, you are really paranoid about somebody hurting you and or cheating you or lying to you, probably as a result of just that big conversation you had to have last season, which brought up a lot of stuff. For others of you that were the one that had to admit to being kind of dishonest and just trying to sneak getting stuff, whether it was just keeping the relationship going because there was something that you were talking about that you knew would upset your friend, partner, boss, whoever. And if you were the person that is extremely paranoid, it's because whoever it was really hurt you. And if you were the person that was doing the hurting, that person has put you on thin ice. And it doesn't feel good, especially with retrograde going on, because everyone is on edge and everyone is ready for a fight. Because during this season, we really feel like we have to protect ourselves. And as much as you guys are the sign of protection and making sure everybody else is good, a lot of you guys have a dependency on people when you get close to them. It's not a quality that you guys have innately, but when you start to invest time in people, you start to, or in anything really, if you put effort into something, the last thing that you want to do is to see it crumble. So you keep pushing things that kind of need to be let go. But the thing is, Taurus, is that you guys are staying in some type of mindset and or relationship and are trying really hard to keep something going. When what you really need to do is find happiness within. You need to be in a place where you can actually say, I am good on my own internally. And what Scorpio season is going to do for you, since you guys have not really done that, is it's going to break everything down. If you haven't already been going through it, you're going to be feeling everything. Every little thing that went wrong in any relationship you ever had, you guys are going to be contemplating it, because unfortunately you just relate everything back to why the thing that you wanted the most didn't work. And until you guys realize that that's not the issue, that life happens, but what we can only control is ourselves, you're going to have a hard time. It's Scorpio season. There's no way in hell that you guys are going to get through November without diving deeper into ourselves and reflecting. Being alone is going to be your guys' need. And I get a feeling that this is going to kind of crumble over into Sagittarius season. But that's not necessarily a bad thing as long as you're doing what you have to do, because if you do what you have to do, the universe gives you, the universe gives back. Whoever it is, if you were somebody that was kind of played, that person is going to come to you bearing gifts, being super nice. But another thing is that Scorpio season leads us to be very on edge, especially during a Mercury retrograde. This retrograde literally is going to make us a little bit on edge. Why everyone's ready for a fight. The retrograde kind of throws everybody off of whack. And when we are trying to dive deeper into ourselves, but at the same time protect ourselves from this type of mischief, or when we are trying to have a relationship with somebody that is really not, they're not in the mindset for it. Sometimes when you feel people pulling away, you're like, okay, but like I have this, and I can help you with this. And Taurus, you might feel like some people are just being like extremely nice to you, especially if they have like done you wrong, or you just recently like ended something with them and you're like questioning it. That is not what you need to be focusing on. If you are somebody that kind of did a Taurus wrong, or did someone wrong, and you're like, okay, but if I just like do this and I'm all cute with them, then like it will be great. No. This is a season where you need to work on yourself. If you did someone dirty, you need to sit back and think, why did I do that? Why did I lie? Why did I try so hard? Why did I rely on somebody else so much? And once you finally do that, that's when you will start to see the motion. And you will be solid. You'll be confident. You'll be bright. You'll be able to get shit done. You'll be able to protect yourself. No one is going to look at you the wrong way. And you will also be bountiful. Whatever this opportunity that comes in, once you get everything done, you're gonna You're gonna be sad. But you're gonna have to watch out, because whenever we have something good, somebody's gonna come along and they're gonna want that. You might have to do some persuading. If you are trying to get back on the horse, if you're behind in your work and you finally get your head back on straight and you're trying to get everything turned in and done and everything, and the person is just like, you were supposed to turn this in a week ago, especially if you're like in school or if you work or a project or something, you might have to do some persuading, because that person's going to be a little bit hesitant, but that's okay. Another thing we need to watch out is for people that are going to try and come in and manipulate us out of this this mindset. You know, when you're doing good and another person wants to do good because they see that you're doing good and they think maybe that'll bring them like some goodness too, but you're like, nah, I need to be by myself. We just be careful. Until you are 100% sure, particularly, and maybe until we're out of the retrograde, and then we can come back and explore this, because it's definitely going to bring something to us. But I get the feeling that it's a little bit of an emotional manipulation, and they're going to be coming to you begging. And we don't want that. Okay, Taurus, so that's the end of this reading. If you'd like an extended reading just to get a little bit more information on maybe who that person is coming in, or what this new opportunity is that you will be receiving during this season, don't forget, you can always contact me in any of my socials. I do readings for just about anything, especially if you want it to be an extended off of this. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and check out my new personal channel. And have a great season.